Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my podcast. My name is Karina, and I'm coming to you from the Pacific Northwest. It is Friday, January 3rd. Happy New Year. If you've been here before, you have definitely seen this view of me walking out to the barn to feed the horses. My two horses, which brings me to the content of this podcast. I like to podcast about things that I'm passionate about. I love living in the Pacific Northwest with my partner, our two kitties, and the two Mustangs that I adopted from the Wild Horse Adoption Program. It is about 7:30 a.m. So as you can see, the sun is not up yet. I don't have my headlamp, but it is light enough for me to go walk out to the barn. So I just want to talk a little bit about the new year. I'm not going to do a deep dive into a retrospective of 2024 in terms of what I have knit. Typically, I complete about 35 objects. I would say I'm on track with that. I completed 2 sweaters, the Riverside sweater and the Neigh sweater, probably maybe a couple more. I think I did a Calliope sweater, and I may have done just a Scrappy raglan with figuring weight held double. Lots of socks. And those are basically the objects that I can think. A couple cowls. I did a fair amount of color work this year using Pacific Knit Co. Patterns. I'm not really going to do a deep dive into like what my plans are for knitting this year because I don't really know what I'm going to knit. I've got a couple projects on the needles which you will see. Hopefully you can see Bragi's harder to see because he is dark brown, but he is standing right next to O, and they are waiting to be fed. So have a lesson today with Bragi. We're going to continue our work on the trailer training, and I will talk about the rest of the content of this episode, which is part end of 2024, part Happy New Year, and it's probably going to be a long one, so I do hope you're prepared with a project to work on and something nice to drink. So I'm going to get to feeding, and I will talk to you soon. Hello, YouTube friends. Thanks for coming to my podcast again. If you're new here, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, so glad to have you back. I appreciate your support. I realized that I was just kind of going over, trying to figure out what I was going to talk about today, and a lot of podcasters, especially those who focus on knitting, they will talk about like what they knitted in 2024, since this is the new year. Today is January 2nd. It's Thursday. It's 2025 in case you're seeing this later. I didn't really want to do a year in review of what I knitted, although I am wearing something that I knitted in 2024, and I didn't really want to talk about what my knitting plans are for 2024. So all that to say, I want to say Happy New Year. Like I said, as I was kind of looking through my notes, just trying to think of some content for the new year, I noticed that my first episode was in April of 2022. So this will be my 3rd year of podcasting. Super excited about that. I hope you have something nice to drink. I have tea. and something to work on as I chat away. So I'll do my normal introduction on Friday like I always do. I decided to do the knitting portion of this and the chit-chat portion of this a day early, mostly because I have time today. Tomorrow's going to be fairly busy. I have a lesson with Bragi. We are going to continue our trailer training. I was trying to think of when the last time, because of the holidays, there's been not quite as much time, and I rode Odin in one of my lessons in December, so it's been a while. So we'll see how much he remembers. I've been trying to kind of pick up his work again. And also, I just want to mention, after this video, I will have a training segment that I did with Odin. There is a horsemanship challenge for patrons on the Ryan Rose horsemanship page, I guess is the best way to call that. And he does some really interesting horsemanship challenges, and I wasn't able to participate in December because we had a lot of rain in December. It seemed like it rained almost every day. The only riding I did in December was hauling off to my lesson and also doing some trail riding. So I thought I would set up the camera and do some practice of that horsemanship challenge with Odin. And just all that to say, if you're here for the knitting and not for the horsemanship, I will hopefully provide a clean break, so it's just easy for you to drop off and get on with your day. And then those of you who are interested in the horsemanship part of it, it'll be an extra, I don't know, I think it'll be less than 10 minutes, because I'm not going to do all the boring parts where I'm putting on his halter. I had intended to practice the same exercises with Bragi in the round pen with my camera set up. However, Odin would not leave the round pen, so Odin got to stay in the round pen, and Bragi and I practiced elsewhere where the camera wasn't. I'm kind of glad I didn't. Bragi is just a challenge. He really, Odin is a thinking horse, and Bragi is more of a panic first and then hopefully think about it later. And just bear in mind with the horsemanship part, when any animal is panicked or scared, they are not in learning mode. So the environment that I'm trying to set up is a learning environment. And sometimes you can't take all the stress away when you are training an animal, because they have to learn how to manage their emotions and deal with stress, because life just isn't stress-free for anyone. So just trying to set that up as kind of a precursor to, or an introduction, preamble, since I seem to be ambling, to that segment of this podcast. And the other thing that I have going on tomorrow is that I think if you have seen my previous episodes, you know that Herbert and Harley, our kitty cats, kind of had a falling out for some reason, and it slowly got better, but there's just still something that isn't quite right about Harley. So we are taking him to the vet tomorrow. I think it would be really hard to tell. He's not showing signs of pain or discomfort. He just looks a little crabby, and his litter box habits have changed a little bit. So we are wondering if he has a UTI or potentially some kind of blockage that are real common in cats. So that was a long preamble as to why I am doing the knitting portion today. But let me share with you what I'm wearing. So this is a colorwork holiday doodle cowl that I did last year, Pacific Knits. So mostly out of scrap yarn, out of Advent yarn. Some of the self-striping yarn, it's really hard to tell what the motifs are. A lot of these are just holiday. Oh, this one These purple ones are reindeer. So let's see if I can, it's kind of, you can see the little red, oops, wrong side, red nose here. So reindeer, and the rest are just, okay, here's the snowman. So this is intended to be just a really long scarf that goes on down either side. I decided to Kitchener or graft it together and make it more of an infinity cowl. So some people will wear it like this. It's just too much for me, too much flop. So I double it and then have a nice warm neck cowl. So that's how I wear it. And the other thing, my grandmother knit this. It's made out of acrylic. At least we think my grandmother made this. She made it for my stepdad probably 30 or 35 years ago. My mom was cleaning out closets and stuff and decided to give it to me because I guess he doesn't wear it. But we found a label that has washing instructions on the side. So it looks like it's a seamed sweater. And Grandma was quite a talented knitter, so it does look perfect, but we are all puzzled by the seam. I expect, after thinking about this for a long time, these washing instructions came from another garment, and Grandma put it in there so that people would know what to do. It says hand wash cold. I'm pretty sure, because this is acrylic, I'm pretty sure I've thrown it in the washing machine. So fond, it's nice thinking about Grandma potentially knitting this. There's no other like brand tag in this sweater, so that's another kind of clue that it is handmade. And Grandma would have totally used a washing instructions label out of another garment. But let's talk about knitting, shall we? I even have acquisitions. So what I have been working on the most is in this bag that Mom made me for Christmas. So it's got penguins on one side, and it's just supposed to be a simple drawstring bag, but I seem to have, there we go. I seem to have twisted things up so it's not. So here we go. Penguins on this side and polar bears on this side. So I have been working on a hat. This is a hat, self-drafted pattern. It's very much modeled after the Musselburgh hat, to which I do not have a pattern. I just cast on I basically worked a hat pattern of Kay Jones that I have in reverse. So the hat pattern is cuff up, I guess, or bottom up, and I just cast on a small amount of stitches of where you would normally end, and then did the increases opposite of what the decreases are. And then I will knit this as like a long football shaped tube and then fold it in on itself, hopefully long enough so that it has a brim as well. So this yarn is Freckled Whimsey self-striping yarn. It's the 2024 Advent yarn, Merry and Bright. And then this is a contrast color I was going to use for a different pattern, a Kay Jones hat that I just ended up wanting something more simple. So, and then again, the needles are flexi flips. So they have this nice little flexible thing in the middle, double pointed. You get them in sets of 3. They are size 2.25 millimeter. And then I have all these needle stoppers that were from the Polka Dot Creek Advent. So I don't think you've seen this one. You've probably seen this one. This is the beginning of round. Little dude. Oops, wrong way. He's feeling shy. So, and it's backwards, so to me. And then I think you have seen the penguin and the little globe stitch stoppers as well. So making quite a lot of progress on this. I think I'm on row 60 roughly, and I'm planning on about doubling that. And I'll see how long it is. So that is that. The contrast color, and I plan on doing another stripe, just doing alternating. It's basically 22 rounds of each color, and I'll do this contrast color again, which is a Barocco 100% fingering wool. That is that project. I think I've said all the important details. I usually miss something and end up coming back to it. Another project that you haven't seen in a while is in this Warm Beach Horsemanship Christian Camp bag that is getting a hole in it. So I won't feel bad about tossing this pretty soon and just using one of my mom's nifty bags, because I have quite a few of them now. So this is the Flock of Flamingo cowl by Tellybean Knits. So, and I am on the flamingo part of the pattern. So again, using stash yarn and scraps. These are the cowls that are kind of the mini ponchos. So this pattern was kind of fun. So it has these little palm trees, and I did get the palm trees, the color scheme backwards. I guess this row right here. I have brown palm trees with green stems versus the green palm trees with the brown stems. Let's see if I can get this. It's kind of in shadows, so there we go. And then this section here is bright yellow. It's supposed to be kind of more of a sunshine motif. Hard to see because I have two different colors of variegated yarn. So, but it's going to crinkle up on my neck, so not that important. What the important part are the flamingos, which is this section that I'm working on here. I think I am using, well, I know I'm using Chubby Red Lace, probably US size 4, which is 3.5 millimeter needles for this pattern. So another fun one. And then just some stitch stoppers similar to the other ones. I love the little cow. It's cute. So I picked that up again. Been on vacation for the last couple weeks, so kind of feel okay about picking up a third project. Continuing on the whips. So, and then this one is the poncho I've been working on. I finished the colorwork section. So the poncho looks like this. And then instead of that diamond pattern, I took a similar motif from a Stitch Dictionary. I think it was, no, it was not Knitovation, although I do have that one. It was the Pacific Knits Doodle. And so I did 2 rows of owls. So there's one, and there is the second row here. And now I'm just on the body of it. So I'm in this kind of main, like, black area. And I was thinking that there was kind of like little sleeves, but these are just cuffs. So what I'm going to do, I'm probably not going to have cuffs. I'm just going to make this as long as I feel like. So I haven't tried it on yet. But it seems like this is going to be a nice fit, as long as it fits over my head. So I am using, I have some commercial yarn, but the cream colored yarn is from Skagit Yarns, and the colorway Fromage, and it is, no, the yarn was spun by Skagit Valley Yarns, and it was, it's from a local sheep farmer, Harmony Fields. They do, they raise sheep for meat and for cheese and for wool. So the brown is in the colorway Truffle, and then the light color is in the colorway Fromage, and the gray is a commercial yarn I think it's a Patton's worsted. So I ran out of the fromage and was thinking I needed more, although I did have enough, and I ordered 3 more skeins to match the amount left I had of the brown. So this is the yarn, Skagit Valley Yarns, Harmony Fields. When I bought the first batch of yarn, it was very sheepy. This is not. All the sheep smell has been removed. And I have to admit, that was a little bit of a disappointment. And while I was looking on their website for this yarn, fromage, East Frisian Lacaune, Lacaune. Those of you who are familiar with sheep breeds will probably know what that is. And then I saw this yarn too. So this is in slate. So I just want you to check these 3 colors out. I just think they're so cool together. So the truffle, the slate, and the fromage. Very pretty, don't you think? So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these, and then whatever leftover truffle I have. Just building up my stash. So here is the postcard that came with it, Harmony Fields. So, and then it's a little sheep farm in the Skagit Valley with seasonal cheese, climate-friendly yarns, and lamb. And then, what else did they say? Oh, local wool blankets and sheepskins. So, if you are interested, it's harmonyfields.com. So those are the knitting projects. And like I said, I wasn't going to do, a review of the knitting that I did in 2024. I'm not really that way of looking back. I tend to look forward. And honestly, I'm not even really sure what my plans are for 2025 are. I've been thinking a lot about retirement. I'm not eligible to retire in 2025, but I am eligible to retire in 2027. That may not be a wise financial decision, but after 20 some years in a career in public health, I'm kind of ready to do something else. Perhaps not stop working entirely, but maybe taking a break and just doing something else. I don't know what that is. So all that to say, of course I have some horsemanship goals, and mostly it's just continuing on the path that I have been. And I was trying to look back to see where Odin and I were about this time last year. I know I did spent the early part of the year doing some hand walking out in the tree farm. I do less of that now. I do more riding, even if it's by myself. Bragi probably hadn't started the trailer training yet. So just continuing on with his education. I do want to talk about some of the kind of the vacation pieces that we've been doing. We did get over to Calliope to pick up my new Christmas present to myself. It's a new fat bike. I talked about that in my last episode. So it's not an e-bike. It is completely pedal powered, but it is used to ride on sandy conditions, like it can be on the beach or it can be like in the dunes, which is where we went. I have some footage from that, so I will share that as well. And also snow, and I have some footage from that. The snow riding was really hard. So, oh, Randy just came in behind me. So, yeah, so that was really fun. It was fun to get away for a night, and we came back on New Year's Eve, and there was some fireworks. One then around right around 11:30. Of course, we were already in bed and asleep. One right around 11:30 that really rattled the windows, but actually I slept pretty good. So I think it's going to be a while before I can figure out, share some thoughts about, what I'd like for 2025. I did say last time that I wanted to make some room for more spontaneity and stuff like that. So we'll see where that goes from there. So I think I'm going to end this segment here. Stay tuned for some bicycle footage that's probably not very long, and also the training session I had with Odin. All right, take care. Getting ready to ride Frenchman Coulee, which is that way. On our fat bikes. I'm sitting on mine. There's Randy's, ready to go. Ready to ride almost. Going on the road, or skills here.
the other dunes, looks like they've grown.
Okay everyone, I'm at the Blewett Pass Snow Park. We are going to ride our fat bikes. Waiting for Randy. I guess that's all I can say about that. It seems like it takes him a while. There he is. If you can see him. Oh, he's making a stop at the potty. You can hear snowmobiles. The one on the left is disgusting.
What's that?
The blue one is disgusting. And that's the trail we're going to ride. Happy New Year, everyone. Thought I'd give you a little bonus content on the new year. We're back home from our trip to the east side of the mountains, where we spent December 30th and December 31st of 2024 and got home last night. Over on the east side of the mountains, we picked up my new fat bike, which you will have seen some short clips of that. And even though our total ride distance for 2 days over the dunes and the snow was probably less than 5 miles, it's hard riding. It's fun riding, and it expands our options just in terms of where we can take bicycles. So that's really fun, but it's very hard riding. And it's hard to get used to, particularly riding on snow. Had to deflate the tires quite a bit, otherwise they just slip. The drive back was pretty easy. That was really nice. I don't think I did any knitting while we were gone. So although I've made some progress on the hat that I've been working on, I won't have any finished objects for you. Kind of revisiting some works in progress. Had to order more yarn for one of the projects. This new year, I am just thinking about, how to move forward. I think the new year is always a time for reflection and just thinking about. I'm looking for the horses. Oh, they're over in Odin's stall, which you probably can't see. You might be able to see Odin's bum in the daylight, or in the barn light, and then Bragi, the dark horse, is behind him. But anyway, I'm going to talk more about that later. So I'm going to get to feeding. Okay. This is Odin the Mustang, a 12-year-old gelding from Cold Springs herd management area. I have had him for 6 years. He was gathered and gelded at age 6. I think that contributes to his kind of well-developed sense of self and confidence of having that much time having to figure things out for himself. So he's kind of it seems like he's kind of blocking me right now. Yeah, well, hello. So we're gonna try this January challenge. It is January 2nd, 2025 in the Pacific Northwest, where it's kind of cold and rainy. So I'm gonna try to figure out, where we are with this. Part of it, I don't have a string on my stick because I was going to use this as an extension of my arm, but I just kind of want to see where he's at. He usually doesn't mind ropes hanging on him and stuff like that. I think he's fairly familiar with this exercise. Okay, buddy. And I might give him a little hint by trying to push his nose away. There you go, good boy. That was pretty good. Yeah. I do have some poles set up in here, so that could be a little bit challenging for this exercise. Ready? Should we flip over this way? You're so good. Yeah, you're so good. This is going to be very different with my other Mustang. He is a lot more reactive. Odin is a thinking Mustang for the most part. Thanks, buddy. Thank you for that. You're a good boy. Thank you for allowing me to trust you. Okay, I'm going to push his nose away. No, other way. There you go. Good job. There you got it. There you got it. You move your hiney over. There. Good boy. So we could definitely practice that. Alright. So the next thing I think is the side pass. Okay, right over there. Nope. Rope management here. All right, here we go. Okay, ready? Good job. Good job. Okay, and then can you push your nose? Yep. Good boy. Definitely going to need to practice that, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're doing so good. There you go. There you go. Let's see if we get anywhere with this exercise. Okay. No? Okay. I know, this is so confusing. So confusing. Yeah. There you go. I know we've been practicing that. Maybe we should just continue practicing that. You're good at it. Yeah. Okay, ready? Sit right here. Good job. Good boy. Back up. boy. Vegetation out there. Good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy. There you go. Yep. Yep. My goodness. That was very dramatic, wasn't it? Yeah, that was very dramatic. Very dramatic. Yeah, let's start again. So, yeah, that was hard. I appreciate that. That was hard. A lot of rope to manage as part of the problem. And finish. There you go. Good job. That was good. That was a lot better. That was a lot better. A lot better. You want to try one more time? Okay, here I go. Stay. There you go. Finish up. There you go. Good job. Okay. Yep, that's right. Perfect. That was perfect. Okay, seeing that, I think we're going to do something different, right? If you're struggling, if you're struggling, Bragi's really